Welcome back, guys. I have my review for, Get ready for the code. I always think explode the code, but we are technically before that. So I posted maybe about, I think it'll be a month ago now by the time this goes up, about not using language arts from the good and the beautiful anymore and switching over to explode the code. Guys, I should have done this. I should have done this a year ago. I'm so annoyed. I mean, it is what it is, but there's like just some things which I know maybe it's just me and you guys are like, you're crazy. There's just some things you want to use. Like I wanted to use the good and the beautiful, and I love their other things that we use from them. And I wanted to use the language arts so bad because I love the illustrations. I like the things that are talked about. I like that that creation and God are mentioned in there and how beautiful our world is because of having a creator. I think that's great that that's mentioned in learning about letters. But I had to get over it. I had to get over it, and it took me too long. I am obsessed with this new curriculum. I cannot recommend it highly enough. And again, in case you did not see the other video that I made reviewing the both of them, I still think their language arts curriculum is fine and amazing, and they have beautiful illustrations, but it doesn't work for every child. Same with this. This is not going to work for every child. So this is just my experience with it, with my son and how he learns. So I wanted to kind of come back. Hopefully, I'm going to try to keep this brief. I feel like that other video got too long. And just go over why I like it and what I think works really well. I will say we've used this for 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks now. This will be the third week. And one, I did not know that there were picture letter cards that you can buy with the curriculum. I wish I had purchased that, and I have today since purchased that to go with the curriculum. I don't think it's necessary per se. If you had letter cards, you could use whatever. And what I am doing is drawing, like right now I have, if you saw the classroom tour, I'm filming this the same way. I had the letter T with a very horribly drawn turkey up there, and turkey is their image for the letter T. So I'm just drawing it up on the board. But I don't know what all the words are going to be. So I feel like, I've lucked out that I had like a bell and a turkey and a kite, but I'm not sure what's in the other two books. So I should probably just get the letter cards. So I did buy that today. I also, in the last video, was not sure if I needed this. However, I am glad that I have it. Do you have to have it? No. The book that they use, their workbook, is self-explanatory. The sections where you do need to read, which I showed last time, they're in both. So if you just bought this, you would know, like if you just saw this page, you wouldn't be able to use it. But they include what the teacher needs to say in this book as well. So you don't necessarily have to have this. I like this because it gives you some ideas of what else you can do if, one, either just to solidify the sounds or the words, their vocab words, or just to get more review if your child is struggling. There's other ideas in here before and after the lessons. We don't always do them, but I do like having a separate book from Mozzie when we're sitting down for school. So I will say that it's kind of up to you and what you think you want to use. So let me go over, I'm trying to think here what book I should show you. So I was not sure if this was going to be too easy for him. we were coming from the good and the beautiful. It was too advanced, and also it was just moving too fast. And phonics is not a big push in that curriculum. And that's really what he needed. So here, you say the sound, it starts out with the letter F. You say the F sound 100 times. You're asking questions for everything. What sound does this start with? And they are constantly saying F the whole way through. What sound? So their vocab words are all these images for the letter F. And you're reading these things. Every time you're saying, what sound does football begin with? F. What sound does fence start with? What sound does fishing start with? They say it over and over and over again to the point where they pick it up. And he now just knows he has to point to the object and say the sound that it starts with. But he knows it now. He's so quick. And my husband and I both already in 3 or 2 weeks, because we're just starting the third, in 2 weeks, out and about, he notices letters now, he notices words, and he'll see a word spelled out, and he'll say all the letters in the word. He wants to know what the word is. He wants to, in speech, he'll hear a word and keep repeating it and repeat that first sound over and over and then guess which letter it starts with. He never did that before when we were using the other curriculum. Something about how this is working with his brain has clicked in a way that we wanted it to, and it's really, really working, and he's able to do it. We're having far more success, and he's able to tell us now if we rattle off even the letters we haven't gone through yet, which I really don't understand why, but he's able to tell us what it starts with, and it's amazing. Another thing that I like about this page here, which, sorry that I keep showing it over and over again, the instructions on this are very clear, and you do something different with every object. So the child really has to listen, pay attention to what you're saying, and follow those instructions, because they are not going to be the same. I appreciate that, because he's somebody who, if he thinks he knows it, he's just going to go off and do it, and he misses things a lot because he's just trying to get through it. Where this activity, he really has to pay attention, because like, I'll give you an example. It's based on, I'm assuming, what he did. He hates coloring, so he scribbles on everything. It drives me nuts, but it is what it is. Once you find the fork, what sound does it start with, and put an X over the fork. For the football, only color the laces of the football. For the girl fishing, draw a fish at the end of the hook. For the foot, draw a shoe on the foot. On the fence, what color would the fence be, and color it that color. So nothing is the same. He never gets bored on that page, and I like it because he really has to pay attention and follow instructions. He can't just rush through it, assume he knows it, and he moves on. And then I'm left to wonder, is he paying attention? Does he actually know what he's doing, or he's just trying to get it done with? So hold on, quick coffee break. Another thing, again, with the sound over and over and over again, the next page, F says F as in fish. On each line, color the picture whose name begins with F. And then I have him say for everything, I can't see in this thing, what is it? A fork. Every time he's coloring something in, or he's asked to circle it, I want him to say fork, foot, over and over, so he's really hearing it. They also have a lot of handwriting. This part is slower for him because he hates writing. He finds it frustrating in that he can be a bit of a perfectionist. So if he feels like he's struggling, I forget what letter we were doing. He really got frustrated with it. maybe B, the line and the circle kept going like basically like this as opposed to beside it. That was irritating him, but he did it. And I'll show you on this page here, another thing to solidify it. They give random images, not random, they would be images that they would recognize from previous lessons. And if it starts with the letter F, circle it and then write the letter F below. I like that because it's almost like you're beginning to write the word. It's solidifying that this is the first letter. I'm writing the first letter of this word. To me, it seems like a very strong pre-writing skill to have. We also, again, so now we have what? 1, 2, this would be the 3rd page then of writing. Hopefully you can see it. Obviously I'm covering my head, I can't see what you see. So say the name of the picture and the sound of its first letter, then circle the letter and then write the letter. So he's being inundated with the letter over and over and over in many different ways. Another thing that they do is tracing the letter. Trace the letter with your finger. Trace the letter in a sensory bin, in sand, in salt, if you use Montessori trays. Just keep doing the letter over and over. Another activity that you'll do if you have the teacher book, oh my goodness, this is getting long, guys. I'll try to wrap it up, is thumbs up, thumbs down. They'll give you a list of words to rattle off. And if it starts with the letter F, thumbs up. If it does not, thumbs down. So we do that for every single lesson. And he picked it up right away. So is it challenging for him in that he didn't know his sounds and all of that? No, but is it for sure solidifying and reinforcing letter sounds where he struggled to hear truly what that first sound was in the word? Definitely. So because he's 6, he's a bit of an older kindergartner starting out, we're able to break, I'm trying to see, I think we only have 1 letter left in this. We're able to break up the workbook lessons or letter. It's so weird to say. So the lessons are quite long in the workbook. We are able to get it done in 2 days. I think normally people, if you're starting out with a younger child, you probably take a week to get through and just do 1 page or 2 pages at a time. We sit and go through, let me find. So I'm doing pages as in front and back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 pages-ish for every lesson. So again, because he's older and he kind of knows his sounds, we can just break that up into 2 days. So it's a lot. The second day is more challenging for him because it's a lot of handwriting, where the first day is more circling things and crossing things out and finding things. So I will say that the way that it's structured, and I could, mix up the pages and do them out of order, but he's doing okay with it. So we're just keeping it as is. So at that pace, we finish a book in 3 weeks. So we will be finishing book A this week. We'll start book B, and we'll be 2 lessons shy of finishing book C before Christmas. I'm gonna try to squeeze it in somewhere just so that we are done. And I think there's an assessment that I can do online or a book that you can buy to assess your child afterwards. However, I think I'm gonna skip that and just do a review. I have already purchased Explode the Code 1, and the teacher book that goes with it, and it is oh my gosh, it is books 1 and 2. So, and there were cards or some sort of cards that went with that as well, and I purchased that so I would not be stuck again wishing I had purchased them. So anyways, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. Hopefully I gave you enough of an overview of the pages. I just think it's really well done, and it's so repetitive, and if your kid hates repetition, they're going to hate this. But if your child needs the repetition, they need to hear the sounds over and over and over, and they really need something that emphasizes the phonics side of language arts more. I highly recommend this curriculum. Like I said, I really wish I would have switched sooner. It has just made such a difference for him. He doesn't complain about it. I wouldn't say he's jumping up and down about doing it, but he doesn't complain. He's quick with it. And it's made our day run so much smoother. I really can't say enough about it. So anyways, that is my update on it. Hopefully that's helpful. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, if you want, follow me over on Instagram. I try to post fairly often over there. It is hard. I'm like most moms. You're trying to find a balance of being online and being in the community without totally being online all the time and missing out on things and being distracted. So I am debating doing a school routine video. However, I really don't like the idea of me constantly being on my phone to videotape him when we're trying to do lessons. So I'm not sure that we're gonna, and I know it's really popular, so everybody's doing it. It doesn't sit well with me right now. So we'll have to figure that out. Another thing that I know people do is just sit down and talk about what the routine is. So I can kind of see myself doing that. I just want our school day to be our school day, and I'm his teacher and he is my focus for school. So I try not to intermix the two things. So that's why I say I'm on Instagram and I try to be on there daily, but it's not my focus. The school aspect is researching things, finding things for us to do outside of school. That's my jam. I'm totally into that. So anyways, I hope you have a great week, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.